Hey everybody. I feel like it's overwhelming just living in a world where like we don't know the full truth about everything. Like I can't fully tell you like what's going to happen in the future. I don't have all of Revelation in the Bible figured out, but a lot of people act like they have it all figured out, which doesn't make any sense to me. And sorry, I got to get this out of the way. Okay, of course it does it when I'm filming. Okay, but yeah, anyway, what was I talking about? Yeah, a lot of, I can't go back to church. Like it feels like every single church is infiltrated. Like they're either infiltrated by the opposition, or they're just doing it for the money. I mean, they're doing it for the money anyway, obviously. Like if they even exist. It's not like let's be like I've never met a person that 100% agrees with the Bible. Like with the whole thing. I've never met one person that like totally agrees with it. They always like say, they like if you hear them talk more, they say things that are not what the Bible says. So either they just don't understand the whole thing correctly, or they're just believing what they want to believe to make themselves feel better. And I feel like that's really frustrating because it's like I have no mentor. I don't have a pastor to look up to. That's something I've prayed for. I didn't get it. And I guess God doesn't want me to have one. I mean, like, I sent it up. I sent up the request. And then the other thing, unless he just doesn't want me to have it yet, I don't know. And then the other thing is, I feel like I just, it's like I can't meet somebody to marry that. I've said this about 1,000 times on my channel, but I know nobody watches it. But I can't find anybody that they're fully seeking the truth. I know I'm one of those people like I'm nervous to talk to women, so it's kind of hard for me to get into a deep conversation with them about it. But as of now, I have not met a woman that's fully awake. Yeah, it's very frustrating. I've said this so many times on my channel, but I know like it's a small channel and you probably haven't seen it. Yeah, there's that. But it's just it's so overwhelming. Like I don't know the full truth about what revelation means. I mean, only a little bit of it is straightforward, but like most of it is confusing. Where I can like sort of interpret it, but it's like I can't figure out like the full truth of like what it's saying because of all the symbolism that I'm not sure about yet. I have ideas, but I don't know what it all means. I don't know what every symbolism means in it. Like some of them it is straightforward for what it's talking about, but not all of it. And it's I feel like there are a lot of false prophets and Pharisees out there that a lot of Christians are looking up to that just tell them what they want to hear, and it's always been that way. But with the end times prophecies specifically nowadays, I feel like they're people they just want to hear what makes them feel better, so whatever makes them feel happier. And I'm pretty sure from reading the Bible, I didn't see anything about a pre-tribulation rapture. I'm pretty sure I read the whole Bible. I don't remember reading anything about it. I've seen televangelists say or and pastors like the Bible. It says it. It says none of these prophecies need to be fulfilled. It can happen at any moment. It doesn't say that. And even the ones that say like certain things have to be fulfilled, they don't say like anything about the Antichrist or the man of lawlessness. They don't say anything about like how he has to declare himself God. I don't know. It's just like they don't. And I'm pretty sure Jesus said that. He says that first. I'm pretty sure. Or the abomin. I'm pretty sure the abomination of desolation happens first, and I think unless I'm wrong, because this is what I'm talking about. Like being like I'm not totally sure. I think the abomination of desolation has to do with the man of lawlessness declaring himself God, unless I misinterpreted that too, because the end times stuff, eschatology, it's confusing because it doesn't 100% confirm anything. It tells us certain things, but the rapture happens on the day of the Lord. But they say the day of the Lord is the whole tribulation, which is 3.5+ years. What? Like It doesn't. It calls it the day of the Lord in multiple verses, including Revelation. I've seen it called the day of the Lord. I'm pretty sure. It's this stuff is like it's confusing. But I think that's easy, actually, that part. It's called the day of the Lord. The day like of God's wrath. And yes, the believers will be protected on that day, but and be raptured and protected. And they'll fight with Jesus. But it's the day of the Lord. They'll be united with Jesus, will fight with Jesus. It's the day of the Lord. It's the day of the Lord. It's a day. They keep twisting it to say like, oh, the day of the Lord is it's the whole tribulation, but that's not the one Paul's talking about. Paul's talking about the day of the Lord before the millennial reign. No, that is the day of the Lord. That's it. It's not like there's two different days of the Lord and there's two different raptures. They say that like, oh, there's the rapture of all the believers. It's a silent disappearance of Christians, like in Left Behind, and then Left Behind. I should have checked this before I made the video, but I thought I heard Kirk Cameron. He openly said, correct me if I'm wrong on this. I thought he said something like, "Oh, the rapture can't be before the tribulation." I thought I heard that somewhere. But I didn't check it before I made the video, which was really smart, right? I didn't even know I was going to talk about this today, but I just started recording. I was just like, which I probably should have checked it, but I didn't check it. You can check it if you know what? Maybe I'll do it now. Maybe I'll check it right now. Kirk Cameron rapture. Let me see. Kirk Cameron, as he left behind. What do you say here? This is going to take forever for me to read. I didn't do it before the video. Sorry about that. Alright. Sorry, I'm wasting a lot of time here in this video. Should I skip it? I don't think this answers it. Anyway, whatever. What am I doing in this world, man? Like, what is this? What is this, man? It's alright. Nobody's going to watch this anyway. What am I doing here? I'm just here to go to work and work on the roof and or do whatever construction, whatever we're doing, and hate it. And I'm just not every day's terrible, but some days are. But anyway, my point is that I'm supposed to do that and then like be surrounded by truth haters, and I can't trust any church or anybody really, like in terms of their beliefs, to tell me the full truth because they refuse to accept it. Another example is the NASA stuff is so fake. It's fake. That might make people mad. It does make them mad. But it's very, very fake. We're not in a galaxy moving 1,300,000 miles per hour. That's the dumbest lie that we've ever been told. But most people believe all the NASA stuff like that. They believe all of it, even though it's very obviously fake. It's just so overwhelming being in a world. I'm surrounded by truth haters. The TV is put in our homes to brainwash us. Man, it is so frustrating, man. What is this life? Like, why? Like, how come more people? I know people are waking up, and I wasn't born awake, but like, I didn't fully wake up till my 20s. I think it was 24 when I fully woke up. I was gradually getting there, like starting at 22. 21, I was asleep. The only thing I really knew at that age was I was Christian. I knew elections were rigged, and that was about it. But yeah, I don't get what this is. Like, it's not. I can't go up and show you what the full map of everything is. I can't prove all. I can't show you like everything Revelation says and say like, oh, this is what this means. This is what that means. Because only a little bit of Revelation is straightforward. So I don't know what it means. I'm pretty sure the day of the Lord is a day. I can't. I got to go back and check the Kirk Cameron thing I said. I don't know if he said it or not. I heard he did, but I didn't. Whatever. I don't care. I don't even care anymore. Pretty sure the rapture happens the day Jesus comes back to end the tribulation. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, people. The Shroud of Turin experiment. Do you think that's legit? Like the living DNA on the dry blood of the Shroud of Turin. You think that was legit? Like that was a real experiment? Because I saw the footage from the documentary, whatever that was. I saw it. They said the ash on top of Mount Sinai. Scientists say that it's volcanic ash. There's no volcanoes in the area. I saw recently the Euphrates River starting to dry up. That's something that Revelation says happens before that sixth trumpet war. 200 million soldiers. Right? I have ideas. I'm not going to say what they are because I don't want to get it wrong. I don't want to get Revelation wrong. I don't want to mess it up. I don't. It says bad things happen to people that add to it or take away from the book of Revelation. So I don't want to mess that up. I don't want to tell you, oh, that's what this means if I don't really know. I'm pretty sure the day of the Lord's a day. Most Christians don't think that. Most Christians think they twist it to make the pre-tribulation rapture real. And then they say they don't believe me. They're like, oh, we're gonna listen to you like over this televangelist. Where they're like, oh, like maybe you just didn't hear them correctly, even though I literally proved what they said and how it doesn't line up with the Bible. Like I'll literally prove it, and they can't prove it. They can't back up what they heard. They'll be like, oh, you gotta watch this of this televangelist. I'll be like, oh, I did watch it. I didn't think it was convincing. And then they also say that he who like removes what's keeping the Antichrist from showing up. They say that's because of the rapture, right? You've heard that. Because like they'll say like every believer's not here. Not saying that he's talking about the believers. They say it's talking about the Holy Spirit. That's what they say. I'm telling you what they say. I don't know what that verse totally means, but what I can tell you is that it does not 100% prove that the rapture happens before the tribulation starts. Like when Paul is saying, like, oh, these things have to happen first, he's talking about not the rapture. He talks about other things that are not the rapture that have to happen first. So I just read it the other day. I've read it more than once. But maybe I should look that up because I don't want to mess it up. All right. Thessalonians. And they say like a thief in the night, but when it says a thief in the night, it's not confirming that it's a silent disappearance of Christians before the tribulation. A thief in the night just means how unexpected it's going to be. Let's see here. Hold up. The day of Christ is at hand. It's saying, don't be shaken in mind or be troubled, neither by spirit, nor by word, nor by letter, as from us, as that the day of Christ is at hand. It's saying it's not yet. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first. They say that's the rapture happening when the believers are taken away, but it doesn't actually confirm that. And that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, obviously the Antichrist, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. Remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things? So basically, Paul's writing to the Thessalonians. He's saying, he's like, I already told you that, like, what has to happen before the one world government and religion and the Antichrist and all that stuff happens. I already told you that. And so he's saying, like, don't be scared. But they're saying, like, oh, Paul's saying, like be hopeful for Jesus. Yes, he's saying that, but it doesn't mean the rapture happens first. That we're not going to be here, or whoever's alive at the time that's Christian's not going to be here. Do you get what I'm saying? He's saying don't be scared. Like, I know I'm not saying like, because at the day of the Lord's a day. I sort of get why they think it's before the tribulation. Like certain things, I get where they're coming from, but like, I don't get the day of the Lord part. Like, oh, like this isn't the day of the Lord that Paul's talking about. The one he's talking about is the one that's at the end. Yeah, the end of the tribulation before the millennial reign. Yeah, that's the day of the Lord. That's it. That's the day the rapture happens. That's the day God's wrath happens. It's the day of the Lord. It's the day. It's a day. Yeah, like there are pastors I grew up like really like looking up to that I don't look up to anymore because I'm realizing that they're false prophets and Pharisees that are deceiving people and giving them false hope, and then the people believe it because it's wishful thinking and because of the pastor's high status or the televangelist's high status. So they're not going to listen to somebody like me. The pre-tribulation rapture view, didn't it like not even exist till the 1800s? It was like some girl had a dream and she recanted it later. It was something like that. It was something. And then they ran with it because they knew the Christians would believe it. Sorry, this video is a mess, like the way I presented it. Um, I have more ideas to what I think of things, but I don't want to say because I don't want you to like. I don't want to be like a false prophet or like twist or add to Revelation or take away from Revelation. I don't want to be that guy, so I don't really fully know what it all means. But I'd rather just say I don't know what it means than pretend like I know what it means and then be wrong. That's what a lot of people do. So, like whoever's alive at the time this stuff does actually happen, they'll know. Like, whoever has wisdom will know. It says that. The wisdom, yeah, the wisdom that comes from discernment, that comes from the Holy Ghost, that person will know. But we're not there yet, so I can't tell you what's going to happen. And it makes me wonder, it's like what happened to the prophets? Like, where are the real prophets today? And I'm not saying there aren't any, I just don't know who they are. Everyone I see is a false prophet. Like, every single one's a liar. I can't even go to church anymore. I haven't been to church in a while. I'm too scared to go to church. I've had too many bad experiences because of this, because of them preaching false doctrines and false prophecies, and also because a lot of them are very cultish. Like when you're there, like they want to suck you in and like. And I met a lot of nice people at church. Like, don't get me wrong, but like a lot of them, they just copy like whatever the pastor says instead of reading the Bible for themselves. They need like someone with a higher status to tell them what the Bible says. And that, to me, that's very frustrating. Because like when I tell them what it says, not because I'm like trying to be bossy, just like this is what I read. Like this is what I read in the Bible. They're like, oh, no, you have to watch this like televangelist or listen to this pastor. Like no, like you didn't interpret it correctly. Like you need to read it again, or like oh you didn't hear that televangelist correctly, or it's your fault. It's your fault. What? I'm just reading what the Bible says. So Paul just wrote like the day of the Lord, it's not at hand yet, guys. Chill. He's telling them, the Thessalonians, like guys. This is in Second Thessalonians 2, by the way. So I just saw a pastor doing a live stream. That used to be my head pastor. He was like going on. He goes on and on, like trying to like convince people that the rapture is before the tribulation. He goes on and on and on about it. Um, does like these verses don't confirm they don't confirm that the rapture happens before the tribulation. It doesn't confirm that. They don't confirm it. I didn't see any confirmation. You got to tell me why the whole tribulation, the whole 3.5 plus years, is the day of the Lord, because it's not a day, it's over 3.5 years. That doesn't make any sense. In Daniel, it tells like the timeline and all that. And it doesn't, it's not a day. That's not the day of the Lord. The day of the Lord is the day of God's wrath. And yes, we'll be protected. It says that last days will be like the days of Noah, right? On the days of Noah, Noah and his family, the saved people, they were saved on the ark. They didn't experience God's wrath. They were protected from it because they obeyed and they built the ark like God told them. I'm confused. I can't tell you everything. Like, okay, here's the whole timeline of the tribulation, and like, no, I can't. I mean, I don't even think we're supposed to know all of it. Obviously, like, we're not supposed to. We don't know the day that it happens. It says, "Blessed are those that make it to like 30 days and another 15 days after the abomination of desolation." So it's over 3.5 years. But we know that no one knows the day or the hour of the rapture, Jesus coming back, except for the Father. Nobody knows except the Father. So I can't tell you that. I'm not supposed to be able to tell you that. But don't look to me. I can't interpret the end times prophecies, but I can tell you when someone's twisting what it says. I can tell you that. I could spot a false prophet. Jesus said you could tell a false prophet by their fruits. Right? Then they're going to deceive many, right? Deceive a lot of people. In these last days, they're going to deceive a lot of people. Great time to be alive, right? I mean, no time's good. If you look at all time, look at how many horrible wars and stuff happened. So I mean, like, I'm not saying none of that stuff's happening now, but did say there would be wars and rumors of wars, right? So not there would be wars that are happening, and then rumors of wars that like haven't happened but just been rumored. So yeah, there's that. It's just so like this stuff. I'm telling you, it's so like what's the word? I don't know. It's frustrating. There it is. I've already said that, but it's like it's overwhelming. I said that too. It's I'm not gonna. It's I don't know. It's overwhelming. So I want to know what it all means, but I don't know. I want to know. I want to know. Not saying I have to know the future, but I want to know like what's going on right now, where we are in the timeline right now. Maybe we don't. Maybe God doesn't want us to know a certain amount, and He doesn't. Obviously, He doesn't want us to know all of it, or else He would have made Revelation more clear. And if we're not there, we're not there. So we're not going to know yet if it didn't happen yet. And God obviously doesn't want us to know the day that Jesus is coming back. So there's that too. Overwhelming stuff. Overwhelming. I feel like I'm not supposed to be overwhelmed. I feel like I'm not supposed to be. But I have feelings, you know. I want clarity. I want to know the truth about everything. With the elites, they know the secrets, right? When the Freemasons, they do their initiation, and they like Ecclesiastes, King Solomon, all this stuff is part of it. And then they get their blindfolded. They say, "My life, but not the secrets," according to the John Ankerberg show. They weren't going to go all the way and show like everything they do, but they showed this part. They said, "My life, but not the secrets." What secrets? How do you know all the secrets? How do the elites know all the secrets? They really badly don't want us to know them. That's why they brainwash us with lies on TV, school, entertainment. They infiltrated the churches too. By the way, the same pastor that I grew up with that I told you about just now, he also was in 2020. I think I've said this in a video, more than one video before. He was on NBC promoting the CV restrictions. And they got a new building after. All right. What am I doing in this world, man? Like, what is all this? All right. I don't know anybody that fully believes the Bible entirely for what it says, because I keep hearing people talk about stuff like that, like the pre-tribulation rapture that there's no proof of. Show me the verse that 100% confirms it. Just show it to me. That's all I'm asking. Because I couldn't find it. The day of the Lord happens shortly after the abomination of desolation. Don't know what day. Nobody knows. It's a random day after that. I don't know what day it is. I don't have it all figured out. I'm sorry. I want to know. I want to tell you. If I had the answers, I would tell all of you in a video right now. I wouldn't make you buy my book on Revelation about it like other televangelists do. Isn't that a little suspicious, people, when they do that? See what I mean? A lot of people buy the books and look up to them. Like, wouldn't God say to just tell us and not to like write it in a book that you have to buy? Right? Do you get like my frustration? People don't listen to me. I don't know everything too. I just proved I don't know a lot of it. But I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna make you buy a book and pretend like I figured it out. Buy a book like making up stuff, because these televangelists, they know like they're gonna be there. A lot of them are older guys. They know they're gonna be dead by the time any of this stuff happens. So like, they don't care. They're just making money now while they can. And they're there on purpose to deceive us. That's why they're there. And some of them have names that don't even sound like their real name. Sounds like a stage name. But that's another story. I guess I can't prove that. But yeah, that's where we're at right now. And I need to find a woman that gets what I'm saying and agrees with me. And those people, I've seen them on the internet, but they're strangers and I don't know them. There are people that know the truth. I see they're out there, but they're not near me apparently. I don't know yet. Maybe I'd have to like search farther, but I feel like going to church isn't the answer, because all these churches they're promoting false doctrines, and these people are going there. I don't know how many people believe everything they're saying. Maybe they're there just because they want to go to church, I guess. I mean, I don't know, but I mean, there are a lot of other topics I could talk about too. I can go on and on. Again, this was a video I thought was going to be like 5 minutes or 10 minutes, but yeah, or 29 minutes. So I'm thinking like the people in these churches, they're not going to listen to me, but maybe somebody in there, maybe I'll go and they'll be awake, but they can't find a church, so they just picked one, and maybe they're like me. I don't even know what church to go to find these people, you know what I'm saying? So I mean, I tried reaching out to people on the internet, nobody wants to actually meet, because it's the internet, so you don't know who you're talking to for real. So I think a lot of people are cautious on the internet, which is totally understandable. I totally get that. So it'd have to be people that I got around me in person. At this point, I don't really know. Like, if I could just find one woman that gets this and that's on the same page as me, if I could find one woman that's awake to all these things, that would be awesome. I don't know where she is, but I trust God with it. Trust God. I'm gonna wrap up the video now. But thanks for listening. If you actually did watch this, I know people don't want to watch videos like this, and this was very all over the place and messy, and I didn't. Sorry about the Kirk Cameron thing. I don't even know. Like, it was something I heard. I didn't like. Sorry, I didn't like. Whatever. Anyway, I don't know how to find like-minded people. That's something I really need to. That would be like a dream come true if I could find like-minded people. I'm not saying I don't know anybody that's like me. I know a few guys that we don't agree on everything, but we're mostly awake. We're mostly awake, so I want to find more people. I don't know how to do that, especially in today's society. It's like, forget it. The brainwashing, especially after like 2020 and even before that, like even going a few years before that, just like seeing how brainwashed people became and like how easily they just like submitted to the agendas. They just submitted. Like, I wouldn't be surprised. I think people now would be ready for the one world government and religion. Like, I actually feel like today these people would do it if they told us that they're. I know Christians wouldn't do it. Like, if you whoever's saved, whoever's awake, they wouldn't do it. But like, these Christians are not most people, despite what a certain televangelist would say about the United States not being in end times prophecies because of the rapture. Yeah, and the crowd cheering that's there while he's on his book tour. I have no idea if the United States is in it, but it does say that. I remember saying the Whore of Babylon, uh, it kind of spread throughout all nations, or like what did it say? She fornicated with all nations. It said something like that. So it was a worldwide thing. But in the United States is one of all nations. So the United States is it's I don't know if it's like I don't know if the United States is like a specific thing mentioned in it. I can't tell you that. I don't know. I don't have it all figured out. I gotta find that verse right now. I don't want to mess this up. Hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. I'm trying to find the verse that talks about all nations because I remember reading that. It says, corrupt the earth with her fornication. Hold up. I want to find this before I end the video. Let's see. All nations. I know I read it. All right. I think I. Is this it? It says. It says, "Thy merchants were the great men of the earth, for by thy sorceries were all nations deceived." Okay, there was that. Um. I know it's. I don't know if that was it. I'm trying to remember. I know I read it. But yeah, sorry I didn't come prepared for this video. Um, Whatever, just food for thought. Sorry, I'm taking too long here. I know a lot of people will be like, just edit the video, but no one's even gonna watch this, so who cares? Um, I feel like I'm making the like I said, but in other videos, I feel like I'm making like post-apocalyptic videos. Not really, but I mean like what I mean is like nobody like you know those movies where like some guys like filming videos like he's vlogging and he's like the last person alive or in his area or something, and he's like, or in case like someone else is alive. Yeah, I feel like that's me right now. I feel like that's what I'm doing. I'm sorry if I messed this up. I am so sorry, Lord, if I messed this up. I didn't mean to. Um, but this is why people highlight verses in their Bibles. Now I get it. Man, guys, I don't know what anymore, man. I didn't come prepared for this video. I didn't even know I was gonna make it. I made it. Maybe I said it already, and I'm looking for something I read already. Yeah. Well, anyway, food for thoughts. Are you surrounded by false prophets? Are you surrounded by people that One thing I've also noticed is that the bride of Christ, like the church, that is a woman symbolism, and the whore of Babylon is also woman symbolism. So, food for thought, right? I don't know if that means anything. That they're both, and the whore of Babylon rides the dragon, which is Satan, right? Just food for thought. There's a lot here. I wasn't gonna make a whole video about like this subject. I just yeah. All right, I'm gonna end the video. I'm taking too long here, but thanks for being patient. If anyone actually watched this, but I'm so sick of seeing fake news all the time too, man. But people eat it up. Whenever you go anywhere, they're talking about it. They have to talk about it, and they don't get that it's fake, and they don't get like the agendas or any of that. It's so frustrating. And some people, it'll be like they'll be agree with me on some things, then other things they'll agree with the agendas. Where I'm like, does anybody see the whole big picture? Like, come on. That's what I'm saying. I only have like a few friends that mostly see it. But yeah, anyway, very frustrating. I've made a bunch of videos like this in the past already. This isn't even the first video I made, but yeah, that's where it's at, people. I keep acting like I'm gonna wrap up the video, and then I don't because I just don't care about like I'm not like scared like, oh, I didn't edit this enough, because I'm feeling like nobody's gonna watch it. I'm just making the video to make myself feel better. If anybody sees it, they see it. If they don't, they don't. But man, life. I gotta plug this in. Life is crazy. What do we do? What do we do, people? Finding a future wife's like finding a needle in the ocean. 40 minutes. All right. Doesn't it even say in Proverbs 31? She says she's finding a virtuous woman is as valuable. She's like as valuable as rubies. Let's look that up while I'm here. Don't want to mess that up either. Last chapter in the book of Proverbs. Right, come on. Find the verse. Let's do it. Who can find a virtuous woman, for her price is far above rubies. It's above rubies. Oof. It's a good thing I looked it up. That was Proverbs 31:10. And then read this one is big. Proverbs 31:30. It's the second to last verse in the book of Proverbs. Favor is deceitful and beauty is vain, but a woman that feareth the Lord, she shall be praised. Those are big words. Those are very big words. Favor is deceitful. That means like someone being nice. It doesn't guarantee that they're gonna stay with you or that things aren't gonna go wrong. Beauty is vain. That means what she looks like. It doesn't mean anything. There are a lot of things you could say about that. She could be evil and be good looking. She could be good looking, and then like you move on to someone else that's good looking, then someone else, and someone else, like you just get bored of her, or she's gonna get older and her looks are gonna fade. There are a lot of things you could say about that, and then but a woman that feareth the Lord, she shall be praised. Those are big words. Those are very big words. And then verse 31, the last verse, it says, "Give her of the fruit of her hands, and let her own works praise her in the gates." So wow. A woman that fears the Lord is what we should be looking for. Right? It says the words of King Lemuel, the prophecy that his mother taught him. So I've heard different things of what people think of King Lemuel and who it is, but I don't know for sure. Sorry. But guys, remember Jeremiah was alone. Also, this is a separate subject. People back then, they didn't listen to Jeremiah like we know about him now as being a prophet of the Lord. Back then, they didn't listen to him. They didn't want to hear him because he gave them a doom and gloom message. People don't want to hear the doom and gloom stuff. They want to hear the prophecies that are false, that like tickle the ears, as the Bible says. That's what they want to hear. So with Jeremiah, he gave a false. He gave an opposite message of the false prophets. That's what I'm trying to say. He gave the opposite message that he was saying, like people, turn from your wicked ways, or else the Babylonians are going to come and invade. Basically, is what he said. I summed it up, and then the false prophets were like, don't listen to him. Like God's gonna bless us and all that. They told the people what they wanted to hear, and then I think they beat Jeremiah with rods, right? They arrested him. So they put him in prison and stuff, and then the Israelites put Jeremiah's name in songs making fun of him. Right? And Jeremiah said it'd be better if he was never born. Well, now there's a song about that Jeremiah's name is in. You know the song, you've heard it. Like I think it's called "Joy to the World" or something. That Jeremiah is said to be a prophet, a real one of the Lord, and so Jeremiah's legacy lives on. He has a book in the Bible. The Babylonians did invade. They didn't listen. Jeremiah was outnumbered. He said it'd be better if he was never born because of all the persecution he was going through, and all he did was just give the message. And before that, he's like, I can't speak. And then God said, I'll give you the words to say. And then he said, even after what I did, or something like that. About obviously, like he was a sinner like everybody else, and he was thinking like even like after the sin, whatever sins he did, I don't know what they were, but God chose Jeremiah, and he was very outnumbered and persecuted. Like when the Israelites were being wicked and they were partying and worshiping false idols and fornicating and all that stuff, Jeremiah didn't participate. He would stay home. He prayed to the Lord. He did all that stuff. But sorry if I'm like messing up details. I think I got that right. Um, but I think Jeremiah. Do you remember? Like, was he put in prison overnight? Like, it was just like an overnight thing. Like when they put his name in songs, that was after he got out, right? I think, I don't know. I forgot. I'm sorry. I read it, but I hope I didn't get that wrong. Sorry if I messed that up. Should have. I didn't know what I was going to talk about in this video. I didn't like prepare anything. Is this my longest video? 46 minutes, huh? I didn't think I was going to go this long. See, with Jeremiah's story, it's amazing what he went through and what he did. You know, like he was he was unlike most people. Like most people would not do what he did. And I'm sure Jeremiah, when he said it'd be better if he was never born, I'm pretty sure he doesn't feel that way now. He doesn't feel that way now. He's in heaven with the Lord. Sorry if I messed up just like any details of that story. Um, I didn't. When I read it, it was several years ago. Like it was a little while ago. But I remember his story stood out to me. Just like the people only listened to what they wanted to. They only listened to the false prophets. They were the respected pastors. The false prophets were the respected pastors because they said what they wanted to hear. But yeah, awesome. But I'm kidding. I'm being sarcastic. Okay, but that's what people are like today. I'm just kidding. I wasn't really like awesome. Like good job, guys. I was being sarcastic. Okay, but obviously, but yeah, that's how I feel today. Like yeah, thanks for listening. Nobody listens, but Jeremiah, same thing. Nobody listened to him. Did they listen to Jeremiah? No, they did not listen to Jeremiah. Sorry, um, I just stretch a little, but yeah, they didn't listen to him. And he was right. And he was of the Lord. He did what the Lord told him to do. And he got persecuted, and they didn't listen to him. But he ended up being right. Didn't it say, like, when the Babylonians invaded, didn't it say, like, there were people that turned to cannibalism or something? Did it say that? Or it got that bad? They became, like, prisoners of war or something. It was like... Or they became, like, captive in Babylon, right? They didn't listen. You get punished if you follow false prophets. I know that. I know that much. I don't want to follow false prophets. I'm done with it. Done it for too long. And this is my longest video. I'm at 49 minutes. I I thought this was gonna be a short video, and it's my longest. Wow, I didn't think I was gonna go on this long, but it's just so frustrating with all the stuff that's going on. I've been holding this in for a while. It's like, again, I'm sorry if I got any of the details wrong, but in the stories, I do remember them, but I don't have them all memorized, and I got to 50 minutes my first time ever. Okay, so man, gotta trust in God. There's nothing else I can do. I mean, like, whatever happens, happens. I can't force it. I mean, like, I know you're gonna say, like, oh, go out and do things. Yeah, I mean, like, it's hard. I don't trust people anymore. Churches, I don't trust them either. It's hard. It's hard. It's not like when I was younger. I thought I would just go to church, stay at the same church my whole life. I left there over 11 years ago, man. I was there for 12 years. I thought like I was just gonna stay there and maybe marry somebody there. I don't know, and I never. I think so. They didn't go in that direction. I thought I would be. I'm 30. I mean, I don't know if I'd be married by now, but I thought maybe I would have at least met her by now. I probably did. I probably was assuming I'd be married by now, but I'm not, and that's just what it is. So I'm the only sibling that's not. I'm the oldest, so I'm 30 years old. Some nice lady yesterday. She thought I was in high school. Um, yeah, I look young for my age, but anyway, I can't. As of now, I have not found her. I've not found the woman I want to create a dynasty with. So food for thought. Just throwing stuff out there. I'm not like trying to tell you like I got the whole Bible figured out. I'm telling you in this video, here's what it is. I don't have it all figured out. I'm sorry. Um, I'm not an expert on the Bible. I read the whole thing, but I'm not an expert on it. Christians don't want to read it. Most of them don't want to read it. Some of them do, but most of them, even the ones that like they just want to read like some of it, do Bible study. Which I mean, I can't go back to Bible study either. I had a bad experience there. It's like a bunch of people that think they're more Christian than you, and where it's like, oh, like Luke actually didn't pray during group prayer, even though Jesus was. He said to pray alone. Remember, pray alone. I think it said in your closet in the King James version. It means like in your room, like at home, right? That's what it's saying. Group prayer. It says the people that like they speak and they babble like pagans, like they go on and on, like trying to. Jesus said this. I didn't even know it was in there until I read it for myself way after I left the Bible study. It says those people receive their rewards in full for sounding good in front of everybody. I dealt with that. These other people that were annoying. By the way, I met nice people at Bible study and church. I just not all of them were, or else I'd still be there. Yeah. Okay. What do I do? I don't know what to do. I really don't know. I'm just kind of like living life every day, like not knowing what's gonna happen. Just kind of. But sometimes they say the best plans are no plans, right? I mean, like I don't know what to do. I really like I'm totally lost in this world. Um, okay, about that breakdown video I did the other day. I'm human. If anybody saw it, I saw it had single digit number of views at the time. So. This is the story of my channel, which is fine. I don't care. I don't want to go viral. I made a video about that too that no one saw. But anyway, I mean, I don't know, it got a single digit number too, I think. But anyway, whatever. I don't care. It's my most viewed videos, like one of my worst videos too. That was in the triple digits. That one. Whatever. Oh, my back. Okay, so I sat in that position too long, and I want to meet like-minded people, but I can't. I have prayed for it. God saying not yet, apparently. So, by the way, I've seen supernatural things that I can't prove, but I saw them. So I know God's totally real, and obviously life can't pop up out of a non-living object. An explosion, it kills life. It doesn't create life, like the Big Bang Theory. Explosions kill life. They don't create life. A more advanced being than us would be what creates life. As far as like the first two parents, because obviously we come from parents who come from parents, but the first two parents had to come from a more advanced creator. Because evolution makes no sense. The theory of evolution makes no sense. The theory of evolution said like how did all the animals, all the species and humans, how did they all stop evolving at the same time, and how did it start? Didn't Charles Darwin, he didn't even come up with it, by the way, he's like the face of it, but he didn't really come up with it. But he said, didn't he say he didn't even know where the first cell came from? The whole thing falls apart, man. The whole thing is fake. I went on a long time. 56 minutes. I don't know what I'm doing in this world. I'm lost here, man. I'm really outnumbered like Jeremiah was. I'm not trying to sound like I'm full of myself, but I really do feel that way. I think that's why that story's in there. So people like me, I know there are others out there. I've seen you in the comments before on the internet, like on YouTube and stuff. I've seen you out there in the form of comments. So I know there are people that know what I'm talking about. But in my area, I live in New Jersey. It's a pretty secular area. I don't know. So far, I don't know who here is like me. It's. I know there are people like me more like in Florida, like Texas, South Carolina, like those types, Georgia maybe, like those types of places. But where I live, like in the tri-state area, it's not like that. Um, yeah, it's not like that. I don't know what to do. Every day is this. I mean, not everything's the same. Things change, but I really don't know what direction I'm supposed to go, and I'm just living life one day at a time. I know Jesus said not to worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. So I'm trying not to. It's hard not to, but I'm trying not to. But I don't know. Anything can change at any time, though. I don't know what's going to happen. Also, certain truther channel. I know, like, sometimes they're right, sometimes they're wrong. Said that Joe Biden was going to die at 79. Something was important about 79, and that Kamala Harris was going to replace him as president. I'm not saying that can't still happen, but the 79 part was wrong. So, they're not always right. I brought that up in an older video. That's why I'm bringing that up now. Because it didn't, the 79 part didn't come true. I know Gerald Ford answered that girl's question, said, like, oh, I think a woman president would happen by the male president dies, the female vice president becomes president. I saw that before. Another truther channel showed that video. And also, I know that Kamala Harris, she acts a lot. There's a viral video. She acts a lot like Julia Louis-Dreyfus in Veep, where she stutters when she talks and she says dumb things and stuff. And then on that show, she was the vice president and became president eventually. So I don't know if they're going to do that with Kamala Harris. It seems like they don't even like her. It seems like Joe Biden only picked her because she's in certain demos of people, if you know what I mean. Two different ones that I'm thinking of specifically, and one of them she's only partially part of. But if you know what I mean. Yeah. Okay. So there's that. I don't know. I just brought that up because I talked about it in another video, but I didn't get to clear it up. Like, but yeah, we'll see. See what happens. I can't see the future. None of us can see the future. It's the first video I've ever done that's gone to an hour. Look at that. Wow, I did a 1 hour video and I wasn't expecting to do that. Like looking up video game news all the time, it's sometimes there's news, but usually there isn't anything that big. As a Kingdom Hearts fan, I mean, Kingdom Hearts 4 not coming out for a while. Kingdom Hearts missing links to the next game. I don't know if it's gonna run on BlueStacks. There's nothing to do with this video, but that's it. I'm saying it. Sorry, because it's again, it's my channel. I can say whatever I want, but I can't though because YouTube doesn't let you say a lot of things that are true. So you know who runs YouTube. Okay, so yeah, there's that. And I'm going to wrap up the video for real this time. I could go on about the video game subject, but this video is not about that. If it doesn't run on BlueStacks, though, I'm going to have to watch it on YouTube. That's the last thing I'm going to say. All right, peace.